Welcome to StartupHakk. My name is Spencer Thomason. I am the CEO and co-founder of CleanRouter, as well as many other products. Here are some lessons that I've learned building a successful business while challenging startup norms. My challenge is to push you to rethink startup success. I have been a software developer for over 22 years. I'm married to my beautiful wife Carson and have 5 awesome kids. I started this channel to tell the stories I have about how we started a successful company, knowing nothing about how to start a company. Clean Technology is the parent company of CleanRouter, as well as many other technologies and products. This podcast is going to focus on the launch of CleanRouter. It is going to be about how we took this idea and passion and built something great. This is going to be a story, so make sure you go and check out previous episodes to understand all of the backstory. Welcome to StartupHakk. Welcome to StartupHakk. Today we're going to talk about 6 questions you need to ask your potential startup co-founder. Now this is a real thing. So someone's got an idea, either you or someone else, and they come to you as either the business or technical co-founder, and they say, I've got an idea, I want to start a business. So here are 6 things that you need to just sit down and discuss with them or decide yourself before you begin into this business. And one thing I will tell you, it is honestly harder to get a divorce than it is to break up business partnerships. Business partnerships and co-founding and equity shares are all some of the most complicated business relationships that you'll find. So these are very important things to discuss before you go into business with somebody. And if you already have gone into business with somebody and you haven't discussed all of these or haven't considered all of these, then today's the day to think about it. So let's get started on these. So first one is, what are your goals for the project? And by this we mean, what is your potential outcome? Are you looking for a lifestyle company? Are you looking to sell out after 5 years? Are you looking for something to do on the side hustle? Or are you looking for full time? Do you need an immediate salary? These are all questions that you need to start to figure out. If the person's in dire straits and they're looking for some quick cash versus somebody who's looking to side hustle for a few years, then these are very different things that you'll have to consider. The second thing is, how will you divide equity? This is a very important discussion, and I have almost an entire podcast around this from an earlier discussion. So I would definitely recommend that you go back and listen to my earlier podcast about my story about what we ran into with this. But having equity discussions are neither comfortable nor fun, but they are critical. So that means that how are you going to divide the company? But when I say an equity discussion, it means, are you going to be, if you have 2 founders, is it going to be 50-50? If there's 3 founders, is it going to be 33-33-33? And how soon are you going to bring in investors? This becomes an important question on how you're going to all get diluted as the company moves forward. If it's just a lifestyle company, then some of these don't, then how are you going to split the revenue? These are some of the questions that get really important on how you're going to divide the equity. So number 3, are you ready to go into battle together? I know I've heard a lot of investors say that they would only invest with somebody they're willing to go out and go drinking with. As a member of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, I'm not necessarily a drinking buddy, but I might be. You want to look into something that says if you're going to go out and hang out with, is this someone you would hang out with on the weekends? Because the reality of the matter is, if you aren't friends, the likelihood this is going to be a successful relationship is pretty low, because you're going to spend a lot of time together and you're going to do some pretty hard things together. So that time together is not just going to be just time, but it's going to be stressful and there's going to be a lot of things. So are you ready to go to battle with this person? Number 4, what will we do when the company outgrows one or both of us? This is a super important question. The same person who grows a company from 0 to 10 employees and 10 to 100 employees and 100 to 1,000 employees, those are all very different executives. 1 to 10, not as much, but 1 to 100, after 100 employees, it's a very different skill set to manage 100 employees than it is to grow from 0 to 100. As somebody who's grown successful teams, I'm probably not that guy to grow something beyond 100. And you have to have these talks with founders to know right off the bat what they're looking for and what they think their skill set's going to be, because this becomes critically important. Number 5, is there anything in your past that might affect your business? So this becomes a critical thing as you start to look for cash, as you start to, if there's somebody who has a fraud or some other kind of felony on their record, a lot of investors are going to turn tail and run from that. And not only investors, if you're ever looking to get a small business loan or any other type of loans, then somebody with bad credit can actually even really hurt you. So knowing the past of somebody is important, but also not only that, does this person have a history of hopping businesses? Have they, helped co-found 2 other businesses promises that they bailed on or that they haven't seen to finish. These are important things, and kind of go back to the are you ready to go to battle with this person? But really knowing about this person's past is super important. Number 6, do they have the appropriate emotional logistical infrastructure to resolve disputes? So sometimes, this can be, I've been in, and as you'll go back and listen to some of the other podcasts and some of the ones that I'll record in the future, I'll tell you about some of our business partnerships that actually got tangled up with wives. And so a wife who's complicated and meddles in the business can actually be really detrimental to the business and can really throw some effects in there. This is sometimes why it's kind of hard to go into business with friends. And so you've got to make sure that you take all of these things into account. Ultimately, like I said, choosing a business partner is one of the most important things you can do. In some ways, it's actually more important than the idea that you choose, because the business partner will stick with you where the idea will morph and change over time. That business partner is then somebody that you're bound to throughout the rest of the business. So ultimately, that's one of the most important things that you can select. So here are some of the things that I've learned about choosing a business partner. I hope some of this has been helpful. If you can leave a like and subscribe. Also, don't forget the version 5 of CleanRouter is now out and shipping, and so make sure you go and get your CleanRouter to protect your family. Also, any of your kids who are starting to buy cell phones, we have the CleanPhone that keeps your kids safe on the go and gives the parents the ultimate parental controls now in the phone. So make sure you go and check those out. See you next time. Welcome to StartupHakk.